Edie and Ty, we're right outside of Nancy and Paul Pelosi's home in the Pacific Heights neighborhood of San Francisco. It's pretty quiet here now. The road is back open, so we're seeing community members come up, look at the house. Someone even stopped and set some roses, some pink roses outside of the house. Just behind me, there was a note on the wrapping that said, "Feel better soon, Heart San Francisco." There is still a little police presence here watching the home, but it's a different scene from what we saw most of the day here as the investigation continued into that attack on Paul Pelosi. We saw several law enforcement members with the San Francisco Police Department and the FBI. Investigators said tonight that attack was intentional. Several politicians have spent the day weighing in on this, including Governor Gavin Newsom, who said he's known Paul Pelosi his entire life. In a statement, the governor called this a heinous assault and said this is yet another example of the dangerous consequences of the divisive and hateful rhetoric that's putting lives at risk and undermining our very democracy. He also mentioned the attack earlier today at the California Economic Summit in Bakersfield.
I'm very anxious about what's going on in the country. I'm very anxious. I mean, what more evidence do you need than this morning's headlines with Speaker Pelosi's husband, who I've known since my birth. Literally, he's known me since my first breaths. What's happening in terms of the political polarization, the othering, the cruelty, the humiliating that's going on in our body politics, the scapegoating.
We'll note this is the second political attack on a California politician within the last 6 weeks. Representative Karen Bass, who's also running in the LA mayoral race, had her home burglarized just 6 weeks ago. Pelosi's home has been at the center of several protests over the last couple of years, specifically during the coronavirus pandemic.
And Ashley, we've been seeing a lot of politicians weigh in after this attack. Who else have you heard from today?
Well, we've seen the Republican Party Chairwoman Jessica Milan Patterson condemn this attack. State Senator Scott Wiener, who represents San Francisco, he condemned this attack, reiterating essentially what Governor Gavin Newsom has said about this. Also, Attorney General Rob Bonta, he said that any sort of violence is unacceptable. And we actually, at the scene here, heard Nathan Hochman stopped by, who is running against Attorney General Rob Bonta in that race as a Republican. He noted that people should not be quick to jump to conclusions, but also noted that this is a pattern of violence seen in San Francisco time and time again over the last few years.
Ashley Zavala live for us in San Francisco in front of Paul and Nancy's home. Thank you.
The suspects identified as 42-year-old David DePape. Before he was arrested for the attack, DePape had posted numerous anti-government and conspiracy theories on the internet. He was also a local nudist activist who was seen at protests in San Francisco. He's now accused of numerous felonies.
We don't know all of the facts just yet. We are still in the middle of a proceeding investigation, and so some of those details of what was going on in the home prior to the police arriving are still things that we're trying to flesh out. But we do know that at the point at which the police arrived, he did turn and use that hammer against the speaker's husband in a manner that appeared that he was intending to kill him.
DePape is now facing charges of attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and residential burglary. As Ashley reported, the attack was met with condemnation from lawmakers across the political spectrum. Here's what Vice President Kamala Harris said about the violence.
I mean, this was an act of extreme violence, and I think we're looking at a time in our country where there is so much discourse that is fueled by hate and division. And anyone who professes to be a leader, I think, has to really understand the meaning and the impact of their words and their posture on things like this.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell tweeted, "Horrified and disgusted by the reports that Paul Pelosi was assaulted and his Speaker Pelosi's home last night." And Senate Majority Leader Charles Schumer also said in a statement, quote, "What happened to Paul Pelosi was a dastardly act. I spoke with Speaker Pelosi earlier this morning and conveyed my deepest concern and heartfelt wishes to her husband and their family, and I wish him a speedy recovery." And there was this from Republican Senator Ted Cruz, quote, "What happened to Paul Pelosi last night is horrific. We can have our political differences, but violence is always wrong and unacceptable."